When we began development of the Alternative Agriculture Project, we really were hoping to create some opportunity for local teachers to create projects that would allow their students to explore alternative production practices or alternative agriculture products that could be grown in their community. We're concerned that in Virginia we have a number of areas, particularly in what was traditionally our tobacco growing region, where we have students really wanting to continue in agriculture. However, in that region, it's really difficult to bring on new programs and new commercial operations. And we thought perhaps we would be able to put together resources to give the teachers a chance to have students research and explore options, picking a project that they feel would best suit their community and their region, and then be able to carry out that project. We're really happy that schools really were excited. We had 5 schools that ended up submitting proposals that were approved. And with that, their schools provided matching funds, which really illustrated a commitment on the school's part to developing an alternative opportunity for students to explore in the ag industry. So short-term goals, we really wanted schools to have an opportunity to work with their students to develop a proposal to provide an opportunity to look at different projects or production practices that could be implemented in their community, and so that would encourage students to take a look around and see what options are out there, and that was a really great research experience. And then based on the information they're able to gather, select a product or a commodity that they wanted to develop for their program. So this initial effort to put together a proposal was an important step for us because we wanted to give a chance for schools to have students look at what could be done in their community and then do some critical thinking to make a decision on what they wanted to do. Once that was submitted to us, then the short-term goals we had was we really wanted to be able to implement that project in the community and then have students involved in individual supervised agriculture experience projects, which are part of a local high school ag program, and then at least one student conduct a research project that could be designed and presented at the National FFA Organization's Agri-Science Fair. That way the students could see that not only did they do some production practices that were different, but there was some research and some science involved in the work they were doing. Long term, we would like to see the program continue in some manner and perhaps then eventually replicate it in the community. That would require an adult education piece. So this year we're really trying to implement that as part of the program, giving schools a few more dollars so that they can try to do an evening or weekend program for adults who'd like to see now what's going on in this project. Long term then, hopefully they would see some adults and perhaps students after they graduate or on their own be able to implement these projects on land elsewhere in the community. Long term, then, I would think that we hope that community members are able to see that these are generally low-budget activities that can be developed into some major industry. However, we really can start small, which I think is critical in the areas we're talking about in Virginia. And as the community members become involved, then that really helps build that relationship with the high school so that our high school programs aren't simply seen as a source for education for our young people in public schools, but they are a resource that our local community members can utilize. And certainly that's something Extension does, and we hope that we can partner more of our educators in our communities to utilize resources that each have so that we can expand the commodities that are grown in different parts of the state. The 5 programs that were selected to receive the Alternative Agriculture Grant included schools in Carroll County, Giles County, Grayson County, Washington County, and our last school was Randolph-Henry. The Carroll County High School was able to leverage enough local dollars to propose that we fund the one high tunnel for raspberry production from the grant monies, while their school did matching dollars for another high tunnel where they would be growing their blackberries. This project was implemented on their local school farm, which was next door to one of their elementary schools. In Giles County, the school took an innovative approach, recognizing some early production practices for tomato production that are utilized in other parts of the country, specifically the Northeast, attempting to integrate those production practices here in a newly constructed greenhouse in their school to grow off-season tomatoes. Grayson County High School was innovative in their development of their project, where they were able to propose different designs of raised beds for potato production in an effort to examine which practices would produce the greatest yield and allow the easiest management practices for those individuals that are really interested in expanding potato production in their area, with an understanding that these practices may also be transferable to other vegetables and fruits down the road. The Holston High School had an innovative proposal where they were asking to have the opportunity to redesign their fish processing area for an aquaculture program that they already had in existence. The facility that they had was functional yet very inefficient and not as sanitary as they wanted for their fish processing experience for their students. With their school matching dollars, they were able to then reconstruct a building, having the school realize, after the school realized that they really needed to have a brand new facility. The Randolph Henry High School project was also a high tunnel greenhouse for raspberry production. However, a unique aspect of this program's proposal was the opportunity to purchase a used greenhouse from a tobacco farmer in the county and reconstruct that greenhouse with a mechanical science class on the school facilities. This project, along with the other raspberry production project at Carroll County, both schools were able to partner with Dr. Raffi, an extension horticultural specialist at Virginia State University, to receive plants and irrigation equipment to fulfill the needs of the project design. Each of the projects has done a nice job of involving both students and community members in the planning and implementation of their programs. And with that, we have students involved in planning and construction of the projects, planting, and even the marketing of the products now as the season wrapped up in the fall. Community members have been observing and engaged in projects in the different aspects throughout the year, and we hope that that continues in the future as they integrate the new ideas for expanding projects and involving adult learning programs.